Okay, we should be live now.
You have no audio.
We should have audio now. Thank you, Kevin. We good? You guys hear me now? How long is it going to take you to tell me I have audio, guys? Come on. It should only take a second. Okay, Nate, we can hear you fine. No, there we go. Thank you, Enoch.
Sounds good.
I was wondering what's taking so long. Okay, cool. Making sure we're okay here,
Chili
man.
dog.
Chile! Chile! Okay.
I can hear you now.
I can hear you now. Token Tony Z is here. I've got dabs for days. I've got dabs for days. Right here. So yeah, I did a little work today. I got some more things done. I put up this insulation for my Jeep on the dashboard, a carpeting. It's like a dash cover, but I made it myself, and it's really cheap and dumb, but it really works good. And it's even though it's cheap and dumb, it fits really good, and it doesn't look that bad.
My hands full, LOL.
Considering what it is, just a piece of carpet. But I could have done a better job, and I could have made it more. I could have fitted it better, and that can all be done in the future when if I feel like doing stuff. But for now, what I got, it's actually great. It does exactly what I need it to do. This is my dashboard cover. It's just a big piece of carpet, but you can see it's cut out. It's got a cutout down there by my feet where the brake and the accelerator are. There's a rectangle down in the middle. That's for my fans that blow out. The big square next to the steering wheel, that's my ignition and my lights and my horn. And then the round thing, that's my speedometer and my mileage and stuff. So, but what it does, besides making it look awful, it actually doesn't look that bad as far as I'm concerned. But what it really does is it keeps the heat in that comes out of that dashboard. And boy, oh boy, what a difference, man. It makes it so much nicer. So, yeah, I'll probably do a little fitting and nipping and tucking here and there, whatever. Cutting and trimming and making things look really nice and professional, eventually. But for right now, it serves a very utilitarian, basic need. And boy, it does it perfectly, man. It does exactly what it needs to do, So I'm really happy with it. Here it is from another angle. Just a little bit.
Caleb Sliger. How goes it, Nick?
Hey, man, it's going good. I'm just showing everybody my dashboard cover that I made for my Jeep. You guys can see it's that on the right side there. That's just the window covering going over it, but it's actually a straight line over there too. The windows cover it up a little bit, but it's actually a straight. I tried different configurations and things, but this one seems to be my favorite so far. And it's bolted in, and it's Velcroed along the top. See that top edge nice and smooth up against the window? That's all Velcroed down. And then there's bolts. The screws that hold the dashboard in, I pulled them out, poked holes through the carpet, and used those screws to fasten the thing in. I'm all proud. Look at the smile on my face. I'm all proud of myself. I might go over to my girlfriend's house later and show her. Caleb. Excellent. Token Tony Z. We're looking good over here.
It was literally the changes in latitudes that killed Jimmy Buffet.
Buffet.
Good afternoon, Nay. Token Tony Z. Can't hear you. Token Tony Z. Can hear you now. Token Tony Z. May 5th.
May 5th, she says. Okay, that's funny. So I guess there's a whole bunch of bullshit. Um, whatever.
Like they said, the locals are saying it. Perhaps if they were Ukraine, they get that money and Echkatl and help right away. It's obvious. Like I said, this is a
Fucking, I don't even want to watch this. He's a fucking idiot. Ron DeSantis pledges to invade Mexico. That's fucking funny. MK Ultra. Let's read. Let's hear about
So
that.
MK Ultra. Now, I'd say a lot of you probably already know that it exists, that it was a thing. This is, for a while it was a conspiracy theory or whatever they called it, a conspiracy theory. Whereas we now have documents. They've been, many of them have been declassified. Truth has come out, and most people now understand that this is not a theory. This is absolutely real. But Kit Clarenberg over at Mint Press has revealed new files, declassified, revealing MK Ultra's terrifying reach, ethnic bioweapons, mind control, and disturbing experiments. In a groundbreaking investigation, renowned anthropologist Orasanmi Burton has blown the lid off a dark chapter in CIA history. Classified agency files recently obtained through the Freedom of Information Act expose shocking ties between the infamous MK Ultra program and nightmarish experiments on prisoners of color within the United States. The findings expose MK Ultra's sinister mission to develop psychological warfare and behavioral manipulation tactics specifically aimed at people of color under the guise of counterinsurgency. Among the most haunting questions is whether the agency actively pursued a race-specified mind control weapon. Because, you know, most people have known about MK Ultra, but the belief before now has always been that, well, maybe more black people got tested on, but without their knowledge, but that was just because the CIA and others were going to prisons, and since we have a racist criminal justice system, there are more black people in prisons, so you end up testing more black people. That was the belief until now, but that seems to not be accurate. Of the many medical research facilities...
You just said Ron DeSantis dropped out? No, I didn't see that. I don't see that anywhere. Where did you see that? It's nowhere in the news, bro. Yo, Token Tony Z, where do you get your bullshit news from, bro?
The freaking Oracle. Changes in latitude.
Yeah, changes in latitude killed Jimmy Buffett. Give a speech on Twitter? You saw him give a speech on Twitter. I don't see anything in the news, bro. Yo, Therapy Range, what's up, brother? Just one of my audience members just told me that Ron DeSantis dropped out of the race, and I'm like, what, did you just make that up? Or, I mean, he's like, I just saw him announce it on Twitter. I'm like, I don't think you did. I don't even, Token Tony Z, I don't even understand what's going on over there on the other side of this connection, bro. I can't imagine what you saw that leads you to believe that Ron DeSantis dropped out of the presidential race. He's literally right now asking for $50 million more so he can continue wasting people's money on his bullshit. So, I mean, I'm waiting to hear back from you, Token Tony Z.
The freaking Oracle. It's a rumor that Trump started.
No, that's not what Token Tony Z said. Token Tony Z says, I saw him give a speech on Twitter. That's what Token Tony Z said. So either his eyes are lying to him or he's lying to me. I'm sure he'll drop out. He has no chance. Well, I'm hoping he will. He's number 2 right now in the running.
Emoji. Lee Kemp had a heat video about doubt.
I mean, I would love for him. Had a great video about degrowth. Emoji.
The freaking Oracle. Oh, now that's something that we need to see in the pudding.
I know.
Emoji. Deoth.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say there. Degrowth. Like you have a growth on, like a growth you need to have removed. Then I expect him to jump on as Trump's co-runner. Oh boy, dude. You know, if they ran together, they would definitely win for sure. They will totally beat Biden. It's stupid that they haven't thought of that already. But that's just how fucking moronic politicians are. I wouldn't be shocked at that. Dude, I called that a long time ago. I said Trump and DeSantis should do their own ticket if they want to beat, if they want to win. That's the way to do it. The problem is DeSantis would have such a hard time being the second in line. He wants to be number 1, You don't think either of them can do it on their own? I don't know. I think Trump's running neck and neck with Biden, so I don't think he'd have that much of a problem. Biden, I'm going to look and send it to you, okay? It was him speaking, saying that he botched the first debate, made a lot of mistakes, and trusted the wrong people running, and gave his support to Donald Trump. I mean, did he say he was not going to run for president? None of the things you said, Token Tony Z, just now, say that he's stepping down as running for president. But I made a video on it. I can prove I called it months ago. Well, I made a video on it too. I can prove I called it months ago too. I mean, it's not like we're some kind of, Nostradamus for seeing the fucking blatantly obvious, dude. That's just, it's not even a big deal. All the media bullshit has everyone just not voting. Middle America isn't going to vote for Trump again. Hey, Cyber. Middle America isn't going to vote for Trump again. All the media bullshit has everyone just not voting in 24. I don't know. Right now the polling is showing it's neck and neck. And, 70% of Democrats do not want Biden as the nominee for the Democrats. That's not good. That Biden's weak as fuck. What, buddy?
Just okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine. Trump, DeSantis together might bring them back in. Yeah, it would. I agree with you, Therapy Range, totally. Yeah, he said he was dropping out of the race.
No, hey, back. Yes, you can hear me?
I said hey. I said when you first came in, I said hey. It was the very first thing I said to you. He said he was dropping out of the race. Polls are bullshit, and we all know it. No, polls aren't bullshit. No, polls aren't bullshit. They're usually pretty close. They might not be dead accurate, man, but polls are pretty good at predicting shit. You know? He said he was dropping out of the race. This is what Token Tony Z says. Token Tony Z says he heard Ron DeSantis say he's dropping out of the race, and not a single news agency is covering it that I can find.
Play Peter Guitar Jam. Moo.
Moo.
Moo. Want milk?
Yeah, man, I'm ready. I just got heat. Just gotta heat this bad boy up. Got my first tab of the show ready to go, baby. Okay. Burning Man attendees unable to leave desert because they got rained on so bad. So I guess they have to change it from Burning Man to Raining Man. I could create a poll and only ask people who agree with me, and the outcome will be what I want it to be. Therapy, that's not how most polls are run, though, dude. You know that. Are you just going to play dumb about polls, bro? Come on, man. I mean, I've never seen a poll fucking be 100% accurate, but it can test the, definitely give you an idea of what the sentiment is out there. And right now, you know, testing probably, that poll probably surveyed, I would think, somewhere between 500 to 1,000, maybe more people across the country. Usually shit like that. Right now it's 50-50, Biden, Trump. So I don't think Trump's going to have a hard time. I don't think he needs DeSantis, and I think he knows that. But, you know, after things cool down and they start to get along better, you know, we'll see who sides with who. All right, cheers, Cyber. No law regarding cannabis, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, everybody.
Chili dog. Cheers.
Hey, Skeeter Beat. Hello, everybody on the Rumble. What's up, guys? So, changes in latitudes killed Jimmy Buffett. What happened? He died of skin cancer. How did he get skin cancer? Well, he spent a lot of time out in the sun and he didn't protect his skin. And I guess, according to the story, I'm not 100% clear on this. He may have actually been in denial about the skin cancer and refused to get treatment for it. And it eventually turned into lymphoma. and he ended up in hospice from skin cancer. You can't even imagine. It had to be brutal, man. You know, it had to be brutal. Skin cancer to the point where it kills you. Most people that get skin cancer, they get the growths or whatever removed. You know, they go to a doctor and then you survive it usually. But if you get skin cancer and you're in denial that you have it, and you don't get treatment, then, you know, this is what can happen. It spreads into the rest of your body. Anyway, I'm really interested in what he has to say here about MK Ultra. I'm assuming they were using LSD or something stronger, or super high doses of it.
He's abused by the CIA for the purposes of MK Ultra. Allen Memorial Institute, a psychiatric hospital in Montreal, looms perhaps the largest. From 1957 to 1964, the CIA secretly operated the program's Sub-Project 68 under the leadership of notorious psychiatrist Ewan Cameron, the institution's founder. Cameron sought to de-pattern minds via a technique known as psychic driving.
I know, right? And
drugging, unconsenting, unwitting.
I mean, the worst part. I mean, nibbling on sponge cake, watching the sun bake your own skin. He wrote songs about being out in the sun. He encouraged everyone else to go out in the sun and hang out in the sun and live that Margaritaville type of beachside life and be out in the sun all the time. He should have been writing songs about protecting yourself from the sun. You know, getting skin cancer, using suntan lotion. He should have had a song called Suntan Lotion. You know? He marketed skin cancer. He found how to market. He basically marketed what killed him. And so many other people are guilty of that, and you'll find that they end up the same kind of demise. They end up a victim of their own hypocrisy, of their own ignorance, you know, of their own narrative. Anyway, back to MK Ultra.
Patients with incapacitating cocktails of psychedelic substances, then subjecting them to electric shocks while they listen to hours of recorded looped audio.
Jeez, it sounds like Pavlov
Does
type
that sound
shit.
a lot like fucking Nazi experiments?
Yeah.
It is horrifying.
Shit you do to a dog.
These people
Conditioned response.
don't even know they're being drugged. Sometimes they would drug them without them even knowing they were being drugged. But in almost all the cases, they're not consenting to be drugged and electric shocked. Cameron hoped to render his subjects' minds a blank slate onto which new behaviors, thoughts, memories, and personalities could be surreptitiously
Sounds like a
imposed
lobotomy.
outside. It also served the purpose of interrogation. And let's remember, in case any of you are confused enough,
They learned that shit from America?
Well, they were prisoners, so clearly they broke the law. You know, they were probably doing this on serial murderers to try and reset their minds so they wouldn't serial murder anymore. No. Think about how many people were tested on in these prisons.
Okay, I love you, Token Tony Z. I love you, bro. Dude, listen, everybody, Token Tony Z said no, DeSantis isn't stepping down. He thinks he got hoodwinked by some AI. Bro, happens to me. It's going to happen to all of us. Cyber's going to come in here with something one day. I'll come in with something. We'll all come in with shit. We'll swear it's real and come to find out, you know, it'll be exposed for AI. It'll be exposed for bullshit. It'll be exposed for fucking face swap or whatever, you know. There's nothing we can do about it except just be forgiving of the people that get fooled and admit that we all get fooled by it. Fake news, you know. And I'm sorry that happened to you, Token Tony Z. Watch your sources. Good job. Really good job of going back and triple checking, bro. And finding out what you were looking at, man. Good job, bro. You're getting better, man. When you can do your own fact checking like you did, and you could catch shit like that, man, you know you're doing good. Because there was a time when none of us would have known this, you know. The last survivors got paid out in 2019. MK Ultra is a mind job that Americans would do that to our own people. But I can send it to you. Token Tony, you want to send me the AI fucking DeSantis shit?
Guarantee most of them, the vast majority, were not murderers. The vast majority were probably black people who ended up in jail for some stupid reason. Many times they would arrest people for debtors issues, or they'd arrest people for some small amount of drugs, or they'd arrest a black guy for being the only black guy in town, or whatever. And now they're in prison. And now
they'll
the
kill you
government
for
said,
smiling
well,
at a
they're
white
prisoners,
woman.
They're criminals. We should be able to test on them however we see fit. Black Americans expressing revolutionary views were increasingly labeled as suffering from severe mental health conditions. Psychiatrist Jonathan Metzl's groundbreaking work, The Protest Psychosis, uncovered how medical research articles began portraying Negro men as having a uniquely dangerous form of schizophrenia.
Dude, MK Ultra wasn't using psychedelics. They were using fucking.
It was LSD, right?
It looks like they were using electroshock therapy and Pavlov style. According to what Lee just said, they were doing electroshock therapy.
Everything I heard about MK also was that they dosed people with high amounts of LSD.
I know, me too. And it doesn't seem like they were doing that. It seems like that was a bullshit narrative. Isn't that funny? Because this is documents released by the government regarding that program. And
yeah, but haven't they also released governments where they clearly state they used LSD?
I saw Jacob's Ladder, which was a movie. You know, I saw movies that glorified shit and talked about it, but I never saw an actual interview of a victim or a soldier or anything, and I never actually saw a study from the government that said it. I've just assumed it from all of the folk type, stories, around it. It's got like a cult type following to this. And if it was psychedelics, I don't think he's mentioned it yet.
Compared to their white counterparts.
I
Isn't
mean,
it
why
amazing
couldn't
how
they use a
racism
mix of
becomes
both?
science?
No, they could have. I mean, I'm sure, but maybe they weren't just doing it in that. Maybe this scientist, wasn't into psychedelics. Maybe he was into shock therapy. I don't know.
Yeah.
How you go, well, I've done all the research and I've found that the black folks are schizophrenic while the white folks are just,
There you go. There is Lee Camp doing the exact same thing that Billy Ballantyne did the other night on my show that we all got in trouble for. He's playing in character and he's acting like a racist piece of shit and he's talking like a racist would talk. It doesn't mean that he's racist. So this is exactly what Billy did, a little bit more over the top because, we've got a much smaller audience and Lee Camp is, adheres more to what he has to do. But at the same time, man, this is all Billy was doing, man. He was just trying to play a character.
It's like you could have a black person and a white person arrested for the same thing. One of them is diagnosed as schizophrenic simply for being black. And the other person is just, they were having a tough time. The implications from the implications from the DSM that shifted how they viewed black people. The implications were profound. Civil rights activists daring to resist were at risk of being diagnosed and institutionalized. Prisoners refusing to bend to oppressive jail regimes could be conveniently labeled as criminally insane. Think about that. All you do is you get arrested for basically being an activist, for protesting, right? People get arrested for that all the time. Protesting a war machine that at this time was involved in Vietnam, killing all the millions of Vietnamese, involved in the Korean War, killing millions of Koreans. And you protest that. You say, this is wrong. I'm standing up against it. Then they arrest you for the protest. Then you're in prison and you talk back. I don't want to stand in, I'm not standing straight enough for you. Like, all that bullshit, you start becoming a problem prisoner. And now you could be labeled as criminally insane by psychiatrists.
That'll get you a lobotomy.
Medicine and science is used as a fucking mask over just racism and control. just
Hey, Tula.
outright control is masked as
Tula, if I sleep on my right side, my arm will be numb for the first 15 minutes I get out of bed. But if I go into the bathroom and take my hair dryer, because I have tennis elbow and it aggravates it, and I just get this hot right here in my elbow joint and the bicep, that pain goes away pretty quick. Or if I rub triage oil on it. I'm sorry that you should be able to make a joke and not be a racist for it. I didn't make the joke. I didn't even fucking make the joke. I would never say something like that. I know better. Billy's way more over the top than me, man. He just is. He walks that fine line, you know, and I don't do that shit. You know?
Chili dog.
That smell.
Billy is good at the fine line.
I wouldn't say he's good at it. Fucking cost me goddamn, you know, hundreds if not thousands of views, bro. You know, if he was good at it, that shit wouldn't have happened. But his friendship to me is fucking worth it. You know, because he's more important than a bunch of people that
Chili dog.
don't know me,
He pushes it.
that don't care about me, obviously, you know, and are so easily fucking swayed by bullshit, you know, by something that I didn't even say. I'd rather be friends with Billy. One good friend keeping it real, you know, means a lot. He keeps it fucking real, dude.
And in my honest opinion, you should actually be able to make jokes about even the worst fucking thing. It is humor, no matter if it's dark humor, whatever it is, it's still fucking humor, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, some of those things I have been through in my life, that I fucking joke about it, still doing it to this day. That's the only fucking way I can get through it, you know? If you are all that fucking self-important and shit, you're just gonna be a miserable fucking human being, you know? In my opinion.
That's exactly what Therapy and Token Tony Z were just saying in the Rumble chat. They said, seems people have forgotten about humor. Everybody needs to laugh a little more. I totally agree with you. Everybody so damn serious.
Yeah. I mean, looking back, all that, just look back fucking 15, 20 years, all that jokes and shit that was allowed on TV and shit. You get fucking banned for that now on social media if you just fucking mention it and shit. I don't fucking get it, man. How we can turn around 180 degrees and fucking be so fucking nothing is basically allowed no more, man. It's fucking wild.
some sort of science. In 1990, Dr. Douglas Lipton, director of the Narcotic and Drug Research Institute, exposed Danamora's chilling mission, that's another doctor, chilling mission to obliterate inmates' identities and mold them into obedient pawns. In testimony to Congress, he laid bare the devastating efficacy of these efforts, which left an indelible mark on the lives of those they ensnared. Assembling a group of 50 of the most troubled souls, described by Dr. Lipton as the worst group you had ever seen, the Allen team subjected them to a year of MK-Ultra torture. The torment they endured stripped them down to their very cores, leaving them vulnerable to re-socialization attempts bordering on mind-altering manipulation. What it does is take you back to a kind of kindergarten level and then brings you back up. Basically, they were torturing people to the level that their minds were mush. It's just straight up abuse. Abuse to the level, like mental abuse to the level that they
all right,
they can't
Cyber, cheers.
function as
Cheers, bro.
humans.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody. No oregano cannabis. Somebody came in here yesterday or 2 days ago and said, Nay doesn't believe in God. No, Nay hates God. I'm out of here. And I was like...
Can you hate something you don't believe in?
I was like, how Christian of you. How accepting and Christian of you.
Yeah, also that. I mean, and that is fucking the how the most Christians, they toe the line. They try to convince you, and if they cannot convince you, you are fucking evil, and they start to fucking spew ad hominems at you and shit, you know? I mean, but they're Christians, they're the good people that should supposedly show the other cheek, you know?
Somebody else was like, dude, when did Nay say he hated God? What the fuck is that? How am I going to hate something I don't even believe in? You want me to say I hate religion?
Yeah, but most, I will not say most, I don't know, but some part of Christians, they are, even if you say you're an atheist, you hate God, you're a Satanist and shit. But if you're an atheist, you don't fucking believe in any deity, you don't subscribe to any of that bullshit, but they anyway believe, oh, you're an atheist because the devil have a hand on you, so you're satanic and shit. It's fucking wild, man.
You love God, but you can't stand religion as an institution. But religion is what tells you that God exists, right?
Society anymore. Really turning them back to children by just fucking destroying them. And this was our government. And they were doing it without the American...
The Pope's the devil. Sea Sprite. What's up, Sea Sprite?
Even if the American people had voted for this, you know...
Comedy's dead. Love my rice pillow. Cheap heat therapy.
You know. So some people put a lot of price on, like, they do it without Americans' consent. Yes, that's wrong. Also, if they had consent, I still wouldn't have... We voted that you should be able to shock black people into fucking oblivion and erase their minds. We voted for that. It was 61% to 49%, so I think it's fine. No, I don't care whether we voted for it or not. But obviously.
Lee is doing stand-up tonight on Zoom for $5. I don't know what time. Huh. That's good, man. Because fuck COVID. He can still make you laugh from, wherever he is and wherever you are. I mean, we make each other laugh all day on the internet.
And also, I find a lot of Christian people are angry. They're fucking angry all the time. For some reason.
Dude, people take my shit on here seriously, like I'm, some kind of that's how I am or something in real life. When I'm screaming and yelling and ranting and raving and calling people out.
I mean, if you don't know you in real life,
But if that's all you have to go by and you believe it, and then when you contact me on Truth Social Instant Messenger and you say, I want to have an actual conversation with you, you jackass. So I say back to you, well, when you stop calling me names, we can have a conversation. And then you say back to me, but you call your audience names. No. The guy that you're having a conversation with in the DMs, that's not the guy that calls his audience names. The guy that's calling his audience names is a character I fucking play on this show. When you can realize that there's a difference between those two things, you won't be so ass hurt about the things you hear me saying on this fucking podcast. Get the fuck over it. Jesus fucking Christ, man. It's like you think I actually want to have a conversation with you? And all you can do is sit there and call me fucking names in private messaging? Come on my show, you fucking cunt. Come on my fucking show and let's have it out, man. Let's fucking have come on my show and let's have fucking free and open discussion. And, don't be so fucking scared of my goddamn alter ego. Because you fucking deserve that shit for being so fucking stupid in assuming that this is me all day long. Fuck. Testify token. Faith is what tells me God exists. Religion is a means to steal my wealth in the name of God. No. Faith never told you that God existed. Faith was that thing that when you put your hand on a burner the first time and you burned your hand, and the next time you saw it was orange, you had faith in knowing that that fucker was going to burn you again, and you didn't fucking put your hand on it. That's faith. God.
It's all in the name.
It's not faith, dude. God's what religion taught you it was, dude. That's it, man. The only reason you know what a God is because of the liars from religion. Look at the word religion, man. There should be an L-I-E right in the middle of that word. Religion. Because it's all it is lies. And the only place you heard about God, bro, is from religion. So for you to sit there and say that you hate religion but you love God, it's like saying, I love steering wheels but I hate fucking cars. You can't have one without the other, man. They go hand in hand.
Also, one thing I know.
Therapy's trolling the shit out of me. I love this guy.
But it's true. God fucking wiped out all humanity at least once in the Bible, and he keep fucking let people if he exists getting born with fucking diseases and shit, like small children. You cannot name one fucking person in the Bible that Satan or the devil, whatever you want to call him, he killed. Satan didn't kill anyone. God fucking wiped out the whole fucking humanity. I mean, what a great guy. And if it's a God, he should have the fucking power to just change those bad people that were, instead of fucking wiping everyone out, right? He have all the power. He's a God. He can change everything and create worlds.
No, bro. God only has the power to turn people into salt pillars. That's it. Pillars of salt. I love that one.
Yeah.
It's like he could turn you into salt, but he can't cure your child's fucking brain cancer.
Yeah, it's fucking mind-blowing.
Was it those people's free will that they wanted to turn into pillars of salt? Oh, God can't mess with free will. Oh, there's free will. Really? All those people that got converted into fucking salt pillars, was that their free will turning them into salt? They just couldn't wait to be statues of salt. That doesn't even make sense. How do you guys even rationalize your bullshit with these, the all of the things that have convinced you that God exists? And you start going back and you realize that every single one was a piece of straw. What are you standing on, man? What do you got? Faith. You've got your faith. From a preconceived concept that was taught to you since you were a baby. I don't want to talk about religion, man. It's just a bummer. It's a fucking bummer, dude.
It is. I'm getting angry over it.
We might as well just talk about abortion and fucking flat Earth too. It's like,
yeah, I also get angry over that.
They're all fucking third rail hot topics. I just assume stay the fuck off of. It's a shame that people are that naive. Flat Earth. What's flat Earth, dude? I proved that the Earth was round. I literally did my own experiment. I came up with like my own fucking experiment to prove that the Earth was round. You want to hear it? It's so fucking cool. It's up on my channels and shit. It's on my Twitter too. It's a little video, and when I used to live in California, I would see the sun would hit the tops of the trees, the very tips of the trees, because I had like 150-foot trees in my yard. So the very, very top of the tree would light up, but then the rest of the tree was still in the dark, still in the shadows.
Religion is humanity's way of coping with servitude. Christianity is for slaves. The literal meaning of life is whatever you are doing that prevents you from killing yourself. Albert Camus.
It's a very interesting quote. Thank you for sharing that, Misanthropic and Out of Coffee. So I made a video, and I said, you see the sunlight hitting the tops of the trees. I said, the reason why it's not hitting the rest of the trees is because the curvature of the earth is covering up the rest of the tree. And you know, not a single flat earther could debunk what I said. I put it on my Facebook, I put it on YouTube, I put it on Twitter. Not a single flat earther. I even showed my friend Daniel, who's a flat earther. Friend of mine. Good guy. I was like, bro, explain this. And do you know what his answer is? That's not how light works. And I go, yes, that's exactly how light works. And I go, I can prove how light works. And he's like, how? I took a styrofoam ball, right? And I stuck a toothpick in it, and I took a flashlight. And I showed him as I raised the flashlight up, you could only see the tip of the toothpick. Right? I go, this is the same concept at a different level. I said, but it's the same concept. You've got an object on a ball, and as the light is exposed from this angle, you can only see the top of the toothpick sticking out of the globe, right? And then as the light comes up, the light moves down the toothpick or the trees. As that, and there's a flat earther. If you tell them that, they will not have a response. Usually they've got a response for everything. It's stupid.
It will be refraction, bro.
Yeah, refraction. That's the way light works. You don't know how light works or whatever. But I'm like, that's exactly how it works.
The most common debunk will be refraction, because most people don't really understand refraction, because it is actually quite complicated. But it is fucking refraction, and everything you see is refracted. Even the hand you hold out in front of your face that's 1 feet or 2 feet away from you, that is refracted. You don't actually see the hand in the exact position where it is, because you see it through a medium and the lights get refracted. Everything get fucking refracted.
And how are people able to hit a bullseye target with like a dart or a bullet if they're not seeing?
Because we are used to that. Everything you see, you always see an apparent position where it is. But we are used to it, Your brain calculates that on a split second, If you take a glass of water, put a pin down in that water, you can see the pin will kind of change angle from where it's not in the water and down into the water. That's a very good example of refraction. If you have an aquarium, where there's only water in it, and you take a laser light and flash it in through one end of the aquarium, the laser beam will bend in the water. It will literally bend in the water. You see it bending. That's also refraction. And everything does that. Air is a medium. Everything going through the medium will get refraction. It's just a matter of how severe that refraction is, but there's always a refraction. Where you see the sun in the sky is not where the sun is at all. It's in that area, but the sun is never where you see it is, because it gets refracted through the atmosphere, through the medium of the air and shit. So, yeah.
Agree to disagree. I'm joking. Like a flat earther. Agree to disagree with that.
And actually, a really good example of the curvature of the Earth and how things refract. A guy, he took a propane tank, and he was watching it from a big ass propane tank, so he could see the curve. Then he took I don't know what it was, but he made a tower out of Cinevacs in different fucking colors, So the bottom was green, the middle was blue, and the top was red. Then he placed that just behind the curve on that tank, so I couldn't see it. And then he sprayed some very, very cold, I think it was methane, over it. And that cold methane get that thing behind the curve to rising up. You could fucking see half of it only with fucking blowing methane on that. Hold on, see if I can find the video so you can see it. That's a really fucking cool experiment, and that debunked everything right there.
Therapy Range wants us to talk about Flat Earth. It's so funny.
Say again?
The guy in the chat.
Ah,
He's a podcaster. He's a gun advocate and kind of like an expert, like a weapons expert, like my buddy Bill. This other guy's friend of his, Justin, he's into him as well. He says he buys like a gun every week.
Bonsai House.
oh wow.
Jimmy Buffet's dead? Damn it. I was gonna eat the bottomless pasta salad.
It's funny because he said buffet. Eating.
Hold on.
I'm like 3 minutes out, 4 minutes out.
Also, Flat Earthers always say, Eratosthenes, the first guy who figured out the Earth was round with 2 stakes in the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, you cannot do that. And Neil deGrasse Tyson even said you cannot use that experiment. The problem is, Neil deGrasse Tyson said that, but he also said if you use just as much as 3 stakes, you can no longer debunk it. and they always forgot to mention shit like that. They fucking cherry pick like fucking everything they cherry pick.
My favorite one is the guy that does the flashlight from the wall with the hole in it, and he's like, if the Earth is curved, if the Earth is curved, we're not gonna be able to see the flashlight down at the other end of this from this angle. If the Earth is flat, we'll see the flashlight. And he's like, okay, turn on your flashlight to his buddy, and his buddy's like, dude, the flashlight's on, and he's like, wait. What? He's like, well, wait, move it up a little bit. And he's like, I am. He's like, move it up higher. He's like, I am. Where's it at? He's like, I'm lifting it all the way up above my head, man. And he's like, oh, I see it now. And then he goes, dude, that would mean if the Earth is curved. He's like, literally says it. It's so fucking funny to hear a flat earther say that. I love that stupid little experiment, man. It's so dumb. It's like they weren't that far away from each other. They weren't that far away. I can't remember what the distance was. Do you know anybody that can prove the Bible is right? What are you talking about? Sea Sprite says, so the Bible is wrong. Oh, I see what you're talking. You're responding to them. So the Bible is wrong. Funny, a lot of Bible truths are happening. What? Go ahead, Sea Sprite. What Bible truths are happening? Tell us. We just can't wait. We want to hear it.
Bonsai House. I was shown with simple binoculars on the beach by my uncle when I was 6. We watched ships disappear. It was like 12 miles or some shit.
Tony Z says those can be applied to anything. Here we go again, Therapy Range. Therapy, you're happy. Alright, I'm good. Cyber, are you good? You packed?
Yeah, I'm back.
No longer regarding cannabis. Cheers, Cyber. Cheers, everybody. OG Kush this time.
Cheers, everybody.
From the big gym camp. So,
Bonsai house. Bible truths? That's like saying vegan meat. Ha 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 ha.
Sea Sprite, you said a lot of Bible truths are happening, but you haven't
Nick
given
Brown.
us one.
Hey brother. Went fishing today.
Ah, hope you had a good day. Well, even a bad day fishing is better than a good day at work. Right on, buddy. Got my Beazle in front of me here. Beazle. My Beazle. Sea Sprite.
Bonsai house.
What Bible truth?
One Bible truth that's coming through is water into wine. I used yeast. Pretty cool.
You know, I got grapes that are turning into wine. Right here. I threw one out the window on this show. Actually, it tasted like wine. I didn't even bother saying anything about it. It's happened enough times now. They literally ferment. Dude, tell me I am not subscribed to this bullshit. I wish I could block channels on Rumble so I don't have to see their fucking...
You cannot block channels on Rumble?
I don't think so. I have to see their fucking bullshit in my feed. Google is threatening our democracy. Kim Iverson.
Bonsai house. My dishwasher broke and I walked on water. Halisik of Julia.
Oh boy, this is going to get fun. Oh, here we go. Sea Spray. The fires. Oh God. Look, Sea Sprite. The fires are from climate change, not because the Bible predicted it. And people turning against God. There've always been people against God. God's people being killed for their religion. Where? Where are God's people being killed for their religion? Sea Sprite. What are you talking about?
I see more religious people who kill in God's name because they want to turn people around, you know, all the holy wars, you know, all the jihads. So, kind of more proof of that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Christians kill people, right? Yeah, so
Yep.
I've seen a lot of Christians kill people. It's funny, when you go into graveyards from military and shit, you see how many crosses you see from all the Christians that are killing each other? Crazy, right?
Bonsai house. Emma dump a box of toads off the roof of a church at high noon. They're gonna shit themselves.
China? What, was China used to be Christian or something? I didn't know when was China Christian, Cyber?
Since they used, I don't know what, I just know since the CCP took over, they outbanned all religion. They shut down all the temples and churches and shit, and you're not allowed to be religious in China. Like you are allowed to be, there's some place you're allowed to be Muslim and Christian, but they are under certain rules where you basically are not a Christian or Muslim anymore, you know.
So show me where the prediction is in the Bible that says all this. That's what I want to see. Do I even watch world news? I mean, show me what you're talking about in the Bible that's predicting this. You have like Bible verses or something? You must know a lot about the Bible, so you can show me what you're talking about, right? Did the Bible make predictions? Like Armageddon or some shit?
In the Bible, Armageddon shit? Nah. I'm wrong.
Bonsai House. The Chinese government officially recognizes 5 zones: Jiao, Buddhism, Catholicism,
Yeah.
Islam, Protestantism,
Predictions
and
of
Taoism. But Chinese
apocalyptic
communism
events.
does not condone religion.
Predictions of apocalyptic events that would result in the extinction of humanity. Yeah, well, that's happening. A collapse of civilization. Yeah, but civilizations always collapse. Or the destruction of the planet have been made since at least the beginning of the Common Era. Most predictions are related to Abrahamic religions, often standing for or similar to the eschatological events described in their scriptures. Christian predictions typically refer to where was I reading? This is just some fucking bullshit. Quora. Predictions were made through OT prophets. Predictions made some of the Christians. Okay. Show me these fucking predictions. Revelation 13.
Yeah, but first.
No.
Bible, right?
Wait. Sea Sprite just said, maybe you should read it, then you can argue the subject. Well, neither Cyber or I are going to read it, so I guess we can stop
can I
talking
say
about
something?
it now. Yeah, no, go ahead. But I guarantee you, I'm not
Because
going
in
to fucking
the-
read your bullshit.
In the Bible, in all those texts where they fucking predict things, you know, first time the devil raised up, it was Nero, right? Next time he raised up, it was some other guy. Then it was Hitler, right? Then it was fucking Trump, right? And then it's another. So all these predictions.
It's all related.
I mean, how many times do the devil rise up and don't accomplish what he want to do? I mean, I'm just curious. I mean, you cannot just put down a text and say this predicts shit, and then it just predict a whole lot of events in the future.
I mean,
and then you can just pick and choose what event you want to.
show me the fucking
That's not how it
prediction.
fucking works.
Show me the prediction to say what year, to say 2023, this shit's going to be happening.
Yeah. Put a date on it.
Yeah. Show me
Something
this.
quantifiable.
You're the lost soul who can't seem to back up your shit with the goddamn. You say a whole Revelation 13, whatever the fuck. Give me the goddamn verse. I'll read your verse.
And also in the Bible, for to be a good Christian, you actually need to own slaves. You know, it is literally in the Bible. You need to own slaves. You need to own a certain amount of slaves to be a certain good Christian. You know, in the Bible, you need to fucking stone your daughter to death if you found out she had slept outside marriage. You know. If you want to talk about all the rules in the Bible, let's fucking name them and see how great the Bible is and how many rules you actually live by to this day. I'll rest my case. I'm sorry for getting worked up. I just don't like religion at all. It brought nothing good to my life, that's for sure.
Give me the goddamn Sea Sprite. Give me the fucking verse you're talking about. You're the one that said these things were predicted. Show me what it predicted.
And I'm not angry at you, C-Sprite. Sorry for fucking yelling. I didn't mean. I just worked up a little bit.
So does that mean if somebody or something predicts something and gets it right, does that mean you automatically worship them and treat them as a god? Now I know why you watch my show and you love my shit. Because I predict shit and I get it right all the time. So I'm just as powerful as your Bible is.
Nay, it's a fucking deity.
Nostradamus. But show me all these predictions of fucking, the virus outbreak. I guess that's what you want to talk about. You probably don't even believe that there is one. But the Bible predicted it, so it must be true then, whatever. And, fire. Show me where it says that there's going to be, Hawaii was going to be on fire and Northern California. They predicted, fires in Greece and Australia and all that shit. And I think most of those fires are fucking out now. So were those fires supposed to lead to Armageddon and then it just didn't happen? And it all fizzled out. Northern California fizzled out. Fire's not burning there anymore. So which is it? I mean, if you're familiar with people that do like fortune telling or
anyone who do cold readings.
Yeah,
Bonsai House.
Magic type.
Big difference between logical predictions and spiritual predictions. One uses realism to predict common sense outcomes and the other is bullshit.
I mean, they said there were going to be fires and disease and famine and humankind was going to go extinct. Okay, so is that proof that Jesus died for your sins? Is that how it works? Because they got their predictions right? Because, if the Bible did predict all this shit, is that supposed to mean that I'm supposed to start believing in it, in the whole goddamn thing and become a Christian?
And you kind of have to be a narcissistic God if you're only gonna save the people that believe in you. I'm only gonna save the people that worship me. If you don't fucking do everything I say and worship me, live by my rules, your life is forfeit. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
I'm assuming Sea Sprite is running and getting all these Bible verses for me, so I can see what the Bible predicted. I'm fucking looking it up myself.
Hold on, I had made some quotes back in the days, not all, but quite a few bad quotes from the Bible. See if I can find them, where it talks about slavery and
Revelation
all those things.
13. Is that a verse? This is an interesting one. Listen to this. Revelation 16:1-21. Then I heard a loud voice from the temple telling the seven angels, "Go and pour
Bonsai
out..."
House. No, Sea Sprite is whipping their own back for wearing white after Labor Day. It's God's will and all.
Go and
Truths.
go and pour out on the earth the seven bowels of the wrath of God. So the first angel went and poured out his bowel on the earth, and harmful and painful sores came upon the people who bore the mark of the beast and worshipped its image. They're still speaking of shit in the past. That's something that's already happened. That's not predicting anything, right? The second angel poured out his bowel into the sea, and it became like the blood of a corpse, and every living thing died, and that was in the sea. That was in the sea. Something that happened previously. The third angel poured out his bowel into the rivers and so let's go find. They became blood, and I heard the angel in charge of the water say, "Just are you, O Holy One, who is and who was, for you brought these judgments. Past tense. So Revelation, here it is, Revelation 13. Here it is. This is Revelation 13. This is what you said. This is Revelation 13, 1-18.
Bonsai House. Didn't that mean the angels took a shit on the planet?
I know,
Like
right?
Republicans.
They moved their bowels onto the planet. Here, listen to this. And I saw a beast rising out of the sea with 10 horns and 7 heads, with 10 diadems on its horns and blasphemous names on its heads. And the beast that I saw was like a leopard, its feet were like a bear's, and its mouth was like a lion's mouth. And to it the dragon gave his power and his throne of great authority. And one of its heads seemed to have a mortal wound, but its mortal wound was healed. And the whole earth marveled as they followed the beast, and they worshipped the dragon, for he had given his authority to the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, "Who is like the beast, and who can fight against it?" And the beast was given a mouth, uttering haughty and blasphemous words, and it was allowed to exercise authority for 42 months. Past tense, Revelation. There must be something else in Revelation 13, so let's find it. Revelation 4. I'm skimming this, looking for anything that might be a prediction. This is all past tense shit. Revelation 19. Here is something of the
Bonsai
future.
House.
Listen to this.
They said, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold a pale horse. I said I already saw that shit at the rodeo. Dummy.
This will make war on the Lamb. No, they will make war on the Lamb, and the Lamb will conquer them, for he is... That's it. That's like the prediction. Chosen and faithful. 7 bowels came and said to me, "Come, I will show you the judgment of the great prostitute, who is seated on many waters, with whom they..." Hey, it's okay for the Bible to talk about prostitution, guys? Is that okay, DeSantis? Is that okay for your kids to read a book that talks about prostitution? Wow. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that the Bible was so sexy. Huh. Of the
Psychic
great,
Leviathan.
and not just...
Oh Lord, what you doing, man?
Not just a prostitute, but a great prostitute, it says. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that when you're talking about a prostitute to say, you literally say this.
Bonsai House.
And
7 buttholes told him about hookers.
if you
Sure.
think that this is somehow an allusion to something else, well, let me read the next statement to you, which goes, "Kings of the earth have committed sexual immorality, and with the wine of whose sexual immorality the dwellers on earth have become drunk." With their sexual immorality, man, talking about the great prostitute, man. That's in the Bible. That's Revelation 17. You told me to look up Revelation. There you go. What kind of garbage is this? It's filth. It's complete smut.
Bonsai House.
It's smut.
Ha 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 ha.
It's
ha, ha, ha,
fucking
ha, 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 I
smut.
can't, ha, 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 ha,
Why
ha,
are
ha.
you having me read your smut? You think Sea Sprite left?
Yeah, I think he did.
I think Sea Sprite's a woman.
Oh,
Yeah.
she probably think we are Satanists and shit. Sacrificing small children right now.
She's the one that
Don't
worships a
you
book that
believe
says the great prostitute who's seated on many waters, whatever what's many waters means. The prostitute who's seated on many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed sexual immorality, and with the wine of whose sexual immorality the dwellers on earth have become drunk. Revelation 17:1 through 18. I'm going to get a shirt just like this, and it's going to say that on it. Revelation 11, "And I will grant authority to my 2 witnesses, and they will prophesy for the 1,260 days,
Bonsai House.
clothed in sackcloth."
Most likely an elderly online evangelist.
Let's start, you know what? Let's start a new bit on here. Let's call it Bible Translations with Nay in the Garden. where I read and translate for you what they're really trying to say here. See, it says, then one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowels came and said to me, come, I will show you the judgment of the great prostitute. You know, the 7 bowels, because the prostitute, she gets
Bonsai
some
house.
big bucks.
Yes.
It takes it up the butt. It says right there, it had 7 bowels.
Bonsai house. I want in on that.
Oh, then one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowels came and said to me, come, come. This is very sexy. Come. I will show you the judgment. I will show you the judgment of the great prostitute who is seated on many waters.
I take that judgment.
You guys, it's Revelation 17:1-18. Everyone should know that the Bible says this.
Bonsai house.
It's the
One angel
someone
with
tells
7
me to look up
buttholes
Revelation, and
Seven
I
bowels
dude, I'm
would
just
equal 7
skimming,
rectums.
and I'm like, whoa, ho, beep, beep, beep. Let's back it up there, folks. Let's back it up to the 7-boweled prostitute that's seated on many waters. Oh boy, as my dabs are as well.
Arafat Nakba. The Book of Madness.
My dabs are seated on many waters. Well, I wonder what other sorts of filth we might uncover in this book of sexuality and filth. And
murder. There's a lot of murders in the Bible. A lot of people getting killed. And a lot of people living for thousands and thousands of years, man. Good times back there.
the 6th angel poured out its bowel. It's
An
bowel or
angel
bowl?
calls bowels.
It says bowl right there, bowl.
Bonsai house. Chit, how's about Abraham? Killing his son on a rock.
7 bowls, not bowels. Am I reading that wrong?
Yeah, that's a difference.
I got confused from bowels and bowls.
Arafat Nakba. Hu Ishmael. Bonsai house. 7 balls. Bonsai house. 17ths.
7 bowls of what? Then one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls, I read this wrong, came and said to me, "Come, I will show you the judgment of the great prostitute." I read that right. Who's seated on many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed sexual immorality, and with the wine of whose sexual immorality the dwellers on earth have become drunk.
Arafat Nakba.
Holy golden cup full of
Behold,
abominations
HAAA.
and the impurities of her sexual immorality she was holding in a cup. What does that even mean? And on her forehead, oh, this crazy Bible. What was on her? Oh, do tell us, old Bible, what was on her forehead? Well, I'll tell you. On her forehead was written a name of mystery, Babylon
Bonsai
the
house.
Great, mother of
Let's
prostitutes
get down to brass tacks here.
and of
Was there a
earth's
number for the
abominations.
prostitute?
Remember, we just learned
I'm afraid to
abominations,
her.
abomination. There we go. A bomb, abomination. Can you believe back in the day they would use this book to demonize other books? Therapy, they're still doing it to this day. What are you talking about, bro? Somebody just came in here and tried to demonize me with this fucking book. You know? It's their weapon, you know? It's their weapon of choice. And as I look through it, I see it's all just a bunch of jumbled garbage. It doesn't make any
Trendy
sense at
Dick.
all. There's no...
2 girls, 1 book.
He totally went there. Yes, he did. All right, Revelation 11:3, and I will grant authority to my two innocents. Yeah, where's this Revelation? And heavy hail and an earthquake. Yeah, there was, but not there is. There's no actual predictions, man. I'm not seeing any actual
Bonsai
predictions.
House. Maybe if you dial that page number in our phone, the Griahor will show up.
I want to see Revelations just 13. I think if I click on it, I can find it, dude. Here, wait, I got an idea. Wait, it's Revelation or Revelations? Revelation. 13. There it is. I read all this already too.
Bonsai House. Dear Eat Prostitute, will you flash me? Amen.
Dude, I just read 13.
Arafat Nakba. That book drives people insane, bro. Cheers.
Well, I just want to see. There was nothing. I could see how you could look at it and make your own. It's just like any magician or whatever. It's so vague that you can make whatever you want out of it, right? You make whatever you want out of it. There's no dates, there's no predictions, it's just words. And if you look at those words one way, it'll mean one thing, and if you look at them another, it'll mean something else. But if you look at them with a critical eye, you'll realize that they're not really saying anything.
Right.
It's all just weird bullshit. That's what you stand on. That's the hill you choose to stand on. It's a very weak hill.
Yeah, it's all about faith. You have to believe.
It's only real if you can disconnect with reality. But, I mean...
Yeah, but if you disconnect with reality, then nothing is real anymore, right? I mean...
Bonsai House. You are right. Look at it one way, it's bullshit, and look at it another way, and it's horse shit.
And people can, use that however they want, and a priest or a preacher or someone can manipulate people with it however they want, with guilt. It's just like it's like a handbook for the suckers.
Arafat Nakba. John Hadji got big charts on it.
Company set to depart on 3-year cruise. Says people are so enthused that they're going
Bonsai
to continue
House.
the journey indefinitely.
Yup. The whole book is a pyramid scheme. Start as a choir boy. And before you know it, you'll be the one doing the molesting.
Well,
Goals.
after looking at that and seeing what someone said to me in here, I see it for exactly what it is. I've never really read Bible verses before. Never had a reason to. I've heard people quote it and I've seen whatever, fragments here and there. But I never really tried to read like a whole fucking paragraph of it and try to make sense of it. And I'm like, what the fuck are you getting out of this? I don't even, You need a goddamn priest or someone to explain it to you, and they could say whatever the fuck they want to you and you're going to believe it. Just like a flat earther can be very convincing with their pseudoscience. It's magic. Quantum fucking mysticism.
Arafat Nakba.
Quantum mysticism.
I know a Duce who got that kind of money. He must be spent mentally. He spent it very fast.
It's just a grift. Quantum grifticism is what they should call it. Instead of mysticism, quantum grifticism. Dude, I'm good. You guys hear this? I'm fucking good, dude. We gotta do a dab. I made up a wordy word. I did a word. We're gonna do a little bit of this. North, south, east, west. It's what we're gonna do.
Arafat Nakba. Harley cheers.
Harley cheers. So, I should get a thing to clean this with, man. I need a thing. See how hard it is to do. Pinoy told me it's the way to go. He's like, you don't have to fucking burn the
Bonsai
shit out
house.
of it every time.
Quantum ifting. That's good, man. All religion, basically. That's gold.
I'm just afraid I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna get it stuck in there and I'm gonna get cotton swab shit stuck in there.
Now, if you just heat it a little bit and then wipe it down, it shouldn't get stuck.
Right? Okay. That's what I figured.
If you just do it without heating it up, it will definitely get stuck. But if you just heat it up a little bit, it don't get stuck.
Alright, I got some bamboo tips. Can I go out here?
Also about religion, there are so many different different genres. Like you could be a Protestant, you can be a Catholic, you know what I mean, or you could be a Buddhist, you could be a Jehovah's Witness. Who's to say which the right one? They all believe they have the right one. I mean.
All right, let's see here. We'll see if that works. Holy shit, dude. It's loose in there though, and so I can't get a lot of pressure against it. Damn. I mean, can you reuse it? You reuse the Q-tip, I wonder?
I don't know. I usually
Arafat
use
Nakba. I have Russian Orthodox friends who do not act like us Christians.
toilet
They're
paper when I
kind.
do it, or kitchen towel, or whatever you call it.
shit, dude. It's all that char shit's coming right off. Oh my god.
Yeah, it does.
Whoa. Okay. Whoa. This is a cool Q-tip because one side's rounded, the other side's got a sharp point on it.
Arafat
I
Nakba.
got right in there.
Us ain't us, it's US, I ain't no Christian.
Nay hates God. Bye. That was so funny. And fucked up. Okay. We'll see. We'll see how easy that makes this. It's so funny you say back in the day they'd use this book to demonize
Arafat Nakba.
other books.
I'm pissed at God.
Pro wrestling, it's like if you can disconnect reality. About 40% of the world reads the Quran. Any thoughts, you silly infidel? Deer Slayer. So funny. Alright, let's see. I'm going to burn this side off because it's still charred, but hopefully. Okay.
Bonsai House. There is no God, Arafat. You know that, so you also know you are pissed at nobody, so now you can breathe. Brother, smiley face.
Oh shit, it's smoking. There's oil at the bottom of it still. It's 1,000 degrees. I didn't get all the oil out of it, obviously. Top of the hour, 6 o'clock here on the east coast of the United States.
Arafat Nakba. Ha ha ha, Billy cheers.
Nay, are you a lefty? Yes, I am left-handed. Get in this religious... Okay. Do you make your own dab stuff? No, this comes from some really good friends. Shit, my shit's sitting in the sun. I don't want my cannabis sitting in direct sunlight. Yeah. Yep.
Dave Fishing. That's hilarious, I'm left-handed.
I'm waiting for that 550. I wonder what temperature Iceman
Nakba.
keeps his e-nail at.
From the left-handed path comes the father of light, oh yeah.
We hit it off so well because we're lefties. That's funny. You're funny. All right. No law regarding cannabis.
Bonsai House.
Cheers,
Yes,
Therapy
left-handed.
Range, Deer
You
Slayer.
should see his wang doodle. It points the opposite direction. JK.
Bonsai, Billy, Arafat, Dave Fishing. I'm going on your show tomorrow, Therapy. Are we cool like that? Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, Cyber.
Oh, you will remember me.
Dave Fishing. Emote 539390 Nays Garden, New York. Bong repeat. Arafat Nakba. Cheers.
Oh my goodness. I left most of that dab on the dabber. I didn't realize it. But it's still really good. Holy moly. Out at Kafef. It's official. Psst. Okay. 10:30 Eastern. On Tuesday, okay. Oh, Bill Richardson dies, 75 years old. The former New Mexico governor. He's dead. That's crazy. 75 years old. Biden and Trump are virtually tied in polls. America's political mess. Why Republican voters believe Trump.
Arafat Nakba. Because they're delusional.
I mean, oh shit, I keep forgetting I'm out of coffee. We're not really having too many problems down at the border now. They're saying that it's really dwindled down as far as the number of people trying to get in the United States illegally. So, is he going to run on that again? The whole build a wall thing? I don't know if that's going to drum up as much support. He had a whole bunch of people donate a lot of money to that.
Arafat Nakba. Walls are trouble.
Well, no, not really. I mean, in this specific case, I don't think it's a bad thing if they could enforce the wall and enforce the border and keep people coming through legally. I support that 100%. I have no problem with that. You know, there'd be a lot less brutality down there. That's for goddamn sure. With people trying to sneak in, kids dying on the en route. You know, I wonder how many kids have lost their lives trying to make that fucking journey You never hear about them because their parents just bury them along the way, you know? Fuck, dude. 100% for legal immigration. Hell yeah, therapy. You and I agree, man. Nothing wrong with
Arafat Nakba. Too many.
that. I mean, you want to build your wall, you want to have Mexico pay for it, you want to have America pay for it, whatever. I don't care. Do it. You fix that thing so, you know, it basically eliminates coyotes and their ability to traffic human beings. You know, and all the drugs have to come through the American fucking borders, come through the point of entry. I think you're going to cut down the amount of fentanyl coming in. It's a win-win, man. Everybody wins. The fact that it's never been done, it just hasn't been enforced or whatever. Donald Trump had 4 years to address it. He's building building the wall, whatever. I personally would have gone more for drones, satellite type things. You know, I would have thought differently. I would have thought that maybe a physical wall wouldn't be important if you had the ability to monitor that border with satellites and, you know, sensors out in the desert and, you know, response teams and whatever the fuck. But, you know, wall's a good deterrent. It just fucks with a lot of shit, and I would have tried to do something else, but, you know, whatever works. Lots of jobs. No, it's not a lot of jobs. Not everybody builds walls on the fucking border of the United States, bro. It's not a common thing. And, you know, once the wall's built, then what are those people supposed to do? It's, you know, it's almost done anyway. The wall's almost fucking complete anyway, right? How many jobs is that going to make if it's almost done? This is it. You put the wall up everywhere that you can, and where you've got eminent domain or whatever issues around people with private property or migrating animals or whatever the fuck, you leave it open, and then you enforce that with other means, you know? You do both. Create a
Arafat
shitload of
Nakba.
jobs.
Graffiti art time.
Well, we already did it. It didn't. How many jobs did it create while we were doing it? When Trump was in office, how many jobs did building that wall really create? I mean, it's only a temporary thing. Once the wall's built, it's done. You know, I like jobs that people keep and they can, you know, get paid more and they can progress and do more things. I don't like a job that just you work for a few months or a couple of years and then you don't have a job anymore. You know, because thank you very much, we don't need you anymore. We finished the wall. You know? There's almost no wall in place. Barbed wire fence. What? Well, I don't know how much of that area is traversable, bro. I don't know how accessible those areas are. I don't know. I don't understand how the border's set up.
That is messed up that the United States are the only pigs that try to build walls around the United States. Bunch of dicks.
You make it sound like people can get in for thousands of miles all over the country, so they must just be coming in everywhere, right? No, I believe you. I totally believe you, bro. I don't need to look it up. If you say there's thousands of miles of barbed wire fence that people can just cut right through with a pair of wire snips, I wonder how many tunnels there are.
Bonsai house. Yeah, they didn't finish the wall. At all. He's telling the truth.
So are you telling me that Donald Trump didn't honor his campaign promise? That he was going to build a wall? That's something Biden's going to be able to use against him. That's not good. He said he was going to build a wall. That's what he kept saying. He's going to build a wall. I remember there being these huge, obnoxious fucking 30 foot
Bonsai house.
30 foot tall fucking
Correct.
panels that they were bringing out there and setting up, and sinking in the ground 10 feet. You know what, like 20 foot tall walls with a 10 foot. They built sections of the wall for the media. How much money was spent, I wonder, on Donald Trump's wall during his administration? He had all those people pay him millions and millions of dollars. He made millions of dollars towards that wall.
Arafat Nakba. Harley bro.
Harley, bro. Harley, bro. Why Republican voters believe Trump? I wonder how many of his campaign promises he kept. He kept a few, you know. He said he was going to do some things, and he did them. He did some of the things he said he was going to do. He said he was going to replace judges with pro-life judges. He did. He said he was going to install Republican judges. He did. He fucking did a lot of shit, bro. He signed a lot of bills.
Bonsai house.
And held it up.
It's a bicycle skyscraper beams driven into the ground vertically. It's dumb. I can fit between them if I wanted.
You could fit between them? You're like a human snail, bro. Once you get past cities, there's almost no fence at all. Not even close. Well, maybe you can't survive out there or something, bro. Maybe that's why they're not worried about it. Maybe it's like, you know, 100-mile trek in the sun and no one can even do it. But Vice just did a special about it, covering how open the border is. So he could run on finishing the wall, even though it's something that we probably don't need to spend money on because there's not like an epidemic of immigrants coming into the country right now. But that's going to change because it gets hotter and hotter.
Arafat Nakba. I watched Saul last HT getting the money. He looked a bit warm.
All right, I got your map up, bro.
Bonsai house. I'm a snake. A snake.
Oh, there's a key. Texas, full of gaps. Huge stretches of border have no physical barrier. Yeah, but I mean, people can't travel on foot this far. I have a feeling that's why those areas aren't protected. You know? Explore the map. View aerial footage. So, I'm assuming you're seeing these fences are up where there's cities, right? I don't know. It's not showing the lay of the land here, so I can't really tell. Vehicle barrier, other fence. This is all a vehicle barrier. Florida mountains, that's weird. Dude, there's Tucson. Okay. Holy shit, dude. Wait a minute, bro. I mean, That's gotta be. There's no. It's not giving me the freaking. The scale. Bro, what good is this without the scale? I can't see how many miles it would be to walk. Like, there's Tucson International Airport, and there's a fucking river. I guess that's the Rio Grande, I'm assuming, but there's fence there. It's pedestrian fence, and then there's vehicle barrier here, and then it's all wide open. But they're not showing if these are mountains. It's maybe they don't need fence there because they're mountains. You know, like this, for instance, this looks like there's something there, and it's not showing me what. But I think it's elevation. I think it's elevation.
Hell yeah, there's a place called Devil's Highway southwest of Tucson where people drop dead from heat.
Well, I mean, it's actually... What are these?
Well, we're hovering over the Texan town of Los Alamos. It is utterly gift wrapped by the Rio Grande River.
Dave fishing.
Depending on
Where
how
do they
you
go
build
wait for a
wall
car to
through
pick them
place
up off
like
highway?
this, if you follow a straight line, you're inevitably going to cut off portions of the United States from itself. And if you don't build a wall, straight line, if you follow the river, you're going to be wrapping yourself in knots. We're flying over Laredo right now. Here is where President Trump is the only place he's known to have actually visited the border. He did so during the campaign and walked out onto one of the river bridges in white golf shoes, and he was wearing, for the first time ever, the ball cap with the motto of his campaign, "Make America Great Again." He had, just prior to this visit, he had talked about Mexico exporting to the United States rapists and criminals. There were protesters there, but there's also a contingency of Border Patrol agents.
Thank you.
Who,
Bye-bye.
cheered him on as he spoke at the bridge.
Wow. So, you know, I don't know how the border's set up. Scroll all the way down and you can zoom in. Yeah, I did. I zoomed in. But it's still, it's like elevation. I'm assuming this is elevation. People are out there dying daily, out there trying to make that walk. Part of the issue is you can't follow the Rio Grande River, and if you don't follow the river, you would annex parts of America into Mexico and parts of Mexico into the U.S. Well, I mean, there's other ways
Arafat Nakba.
to enforce that border.
Harley bro.
There's other ways to enforce that border. This map is very limited. Won't let you scroll around and shit. But, you know, I just let you out, man. Go on. Go. Pain in the ass. I mean, what's crazy is Mexico has a border that is 1/100th the width of our border down at the south. And if they enforced their border down there, it would take 1/100th of the manpower and infrastructure. Why is this rocket science? Here, let me just show you what I'm talking about. So, a lot of the problem with what goes on in with immigration into the United States is people coming in aren't just from Mexico, right? You've got all of South America down here, and we have countries down there where we have a bunch of immigrants coming in as well, right? Now, the border that we are attempting to enforce, right, is from here. Oh, you can't see my fucking mouse? Hold on. Capture cursor, dude. Which part of capture cursor don't you get? God bless America. Still not going to show my fucking cursor? Okay, here, watch this. Okay, great. So, all right. This border right here, from the Gulf of Mexico, right, all the way to the Pacific, that's the border that we need to enforce to keep all the immigrants from coming in except channeled through the proper places, right? If you go all the way down here to this part of Mexico, look at this line across. I can't show you with my mouse because something won't let me do it, and I don't know why. Wait. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. Cool. So this is the border that we're having to put a wall up. And look at this choke point right here. And Mexico could enforce from here, and that would eliminate all of the people coming up from South America. And then we'd only have to deal with Mexicans coming in, which would be way easier. We could come up with some kind of a, dual citizenship thing or something and make free travel between the United States and Mexico. Wouldn't that be fucking awesome? You just enforce fucking drug laws and shit. You just have, instead of worried about border, you can concentrate on enforcement at the source of where the crimes are happening and shit. Something like that would work out immensely for both the United States and Mexico, and it would cut down on the crime in Mexico, and we could focus on the horrible cartel crime that goes on down there. Instead of worrying about a border and trying to separate people, we open it up and go down there and fucking help shut it all down. All the crime. Shut down the fucking pill mills. Shut down the cartel fucking cocaine and heroin and fentanyl fucking factories. I don't know. I think you just have more resources at your disposal. And like I said, the amount of distance from here to here, are you fucking kidding me? We're trying to seal this off, and we could just cut this right here? Fuck, dude. It's just common sense, man. I don't know why people can't use common sense and figure shit out. It would be so simple to work out some really cool deals with Mexico. Be like, hey, we're gonna do this. We're gonna allow your citizens to come into our country and work. You know, it's gonna fucking make everything better. We're gonna also be able to travel into Mexico without any, you know, passport or anything. We're gonna be. You want to go to Mexico and go hang out in Acapulco, fucking go do this, do whatever. You're gonna be able to go right out there, bro. It's gonna be like it's part of the United States. That shit would be cool as fuck. Go down there, get a job working border down in the southern border of Mexico. You know? There probably wouldn't be that many... Coffee again. There probably wouldn't be that many job openings, though. Because, like I said, it's such a skinny path to have to close off compared to what we're trying to do in the border of Arizona and Texas. You know?
Bonsai house. I'd house a family of Mexicans if I can get one pair of pointy boots.
Maps prove the Earth is flat. Right, Cyber?
Yeah.
I mean, if the Earth wasn't flat, why are maps flat?
Yeah.
Arafat Nakba. Them Salamanca boots rule, cheers.
Salamanca. Salamanca. Hector Salamanca. Okay, so... Son of a gun. You guys ready for that 26,250? Hell yeah. Google's threatening our democracy. Kim Iverson. We should watch that. I think we should watch that. She makes people wait 5 minutes before her show starts. Unreal. Should we just bring on the dude? Fuck off with the shit.
Messages from Google saying that my website
Bonsai
had been
house.
hacked and that they were blocking
I'd want my toe
access.
tips to be the eat prostitute.
Then I started getting interested in Google for various reasons. One was, why were they notifying me? You know, who made them the sheriff of the internet? Why wasn't I being notified by a nonprofit organization or government agency? And then I found that they were blocking access to my website, not just through the Google search engine, but through Safari and through Firefox. And I thought, wait, that's impossible. How could they do that? So I did eventually figure that out. That led to an article I published in U.S. News and World Report, a big article called The New Censorship. It's at thenewcensorship.com if anyone wants to look at it. Because I learned that they have a lot of power to block access, not just to demote or delete content, but they have the ability to block access to millions of websites through multiple browsers. There was a day one particular day,
Funny,
March
if I make it
31st,
just the right
2009,
size.
Google blocked access to the entire internet for 40 minutes.
Oops.
So I just started
Oops.
getting more and
Oop,
more
I'm a
interested in the company.
multi-headed monster now. Ah, I'm a multi-headed monster.
Well, I was looking into growing literature on search results. These are marketers who study search results mainly, and I found, wow, they're very powerful. If you can get up one notch in those search rankings, that can increase your sales by 30%.
Okay, Cyber, I'm going to get ready to do a dab, hopefully, with you, my friend.
95% to the first page of
I
search
guess I should try to
results.
clean this
I started to
again.
get curious as a scientist, which I've been for 40 years, and I began to wonder, well, if people trust these high-ranking search results, could we use them, or could someone use them, or might Google use them to shift people's opinions or beliefs or attitudes or purchases or votes? And I started to conduct controlled experiments. That's what I do. I predicted we could show people biased search results favoring one candidate or another with random assignment to the two groups. And I predicted we could shift voting preferences by 2 or 3% just with bias in search results. And at the time I was thinking, okay, that's not much, but that could affect the outcome of a close election. But in that very first experiment, we got a shift of 43%, which I thought, naturally, was a mistake. So we repeated the experiment with another group of people. And by the way, these are not college sophomores. This was a diverse group of people who look like the American voting population. Second experiment, we got a shift of 66%. I mean, you're looking at me like that's crazy, and that's exactly how I felt. That led to more and more and more research, more and more replications. By 2015, we had completed experiments here and in India with more than 4,000 people, and we published in one of the top journals in the world, the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, and we introduced what we called SEME, S-E-M-E, the Search Engine Manipulation Effect, which we said was one of the largest behavioral effects, one of the largest sources of influence that had ever been discovered in the behavioral sciences in over 100 years. And that the search engine seems to be the most powerful mind control machine ever created.
Wow.
And we began to realize just
Damn,
how
look at this thing smoking.
dangerous this was, because you, for example, lean right. I lean left.
I'm on the left. I lean left.
Oh, okay.
Bullshit. She's a liar.
I'm
She's a
left.
fucking right-wing
Yes,
nut job.
We'll pretend
She doesn't
that you
lean left. I
right.
love the way
Yeah,
these
so
people
you put up
lie.
a billboard for your candidate. I put up one for mine. You buy a TV commercial. I buy 2 TV commercials. The normal kinds of influence that people are subjected to are competitive, which is healthy. Even the dirty tricks are competitive. But if Google, which now controls 93% of search worldwide, if Google wants to support a particular candidate or party, there's no way to counteract what they're doing. In fact, generally, you can't even see what they're doing. So we have learned over a period of more than 11 years about a dozen different techniques
Damn it.
like this, manipulation techniques that the internet has made possible. A lot of them are controlled exclusively
All right, Cyber,
by
cheers.
Google. And if Google
Yeah,
wants
bro.
to use
Cheers,
them,
Cheers, everybody.
there's nothing
No
you
longer
can
on
do to
cannabis.
counteract. And it costs them nothing. If they want to shift votes in an election, for example, in 2020, they shifted more than 6 million votes to Joe Biden. We have incontrovertible data proving this. If they want to shift a lot of votes in an election,
Arafat Nakba.
there's
Hashtag
nothing
NLRC
you can
cheers.
do to stop them. Well, of course, since then we've figured out how we can stop them. But the point is that they have power, the likes of which no government, no dictator,
You just claimed something
no
that was
company
proven
has
false.
ever had.
And she just sat there with her left-leaning
Okay, so let's get
fucking
into the
face on
psychology
and
of
didn't
this,
say a
being
word.
a psychologist and all. Because this isn't forcing people.
Yeah, 6 million people
to
were
believe
shifted.
They support a certain candidate or
I'll be right back.
forcing them to vote a certain way. This is just the information they're given. And, a lot of us, I think, when we watched the whole Russiagate narrative, I mean, there was just after the 2016 election, it was Russia did this to us. They were manipulating us by putting out a bunch of information. They bought a bunch of ads on Facebook. People saw these ads and it impacted them. And a lot of us sort of scoffed at this, like, really? You're just going to say that because some ads on Facebook that Russia bought, that this actually swayed the election in favor of Donald Trump? First of all, from your perspective of seeing this and seeing that Google and search engines are able to do this, was that a possibility? I mean, was Russia able to actually manipulate the election by buying advertisements on Facebook?
They shifted a few votes, but most of these kinds of manipulations are competitive. They're buying Facebook ads, but so's the other side. They're buying
Right.
Facebook ads too. The fact that they were trying to shift any votes in our election, I find disturbing. But no, did they have a big impact? No. Neither did Cambridge Analytica, by the way.
Seamer
have a big
Cannabis.
impact.
Okay.
NLRC cheers
What I have
trendy as
been
dabbers at
discovering
Nate's Garden
and
cheers
studying and
trendis.
quantifying now for a long time is totally different, because it is shifting opinions and votes on a massive scale, not hundreds or thousands of votes, but millions of votes. And generally speaking, you can't see what these companies are doing, and you certainly cannot counteract what they're doing, which is the really, really scary part. And the more we've learned about this, I'll give you an example. One of the early studies we did was a nationwide study, more than 2,000 people in all 50 states, using a simulator of Google, which we call Cadoodle. It works exactly like Google. We used real search results, real web pages. We randomly assigned people to different groups. So in one group, they're seeing search results that favor candidate A. In the other group, they're seeing search results that favor the opposing candidate. It's the only difference between the two groups is the ordering of the search results. That's it. That's the only difference. We produced an enormous shift in voting preferences among undecided voters of over 40%. But that study was large enough so that we actually had a few people in there, a couple of hundred people, who could spot the bias. See, normally you can't see the bias. So that makes this incredibly dangerous. If someone's forcing you to vote a certain way, they're putting a gun to your head, you can see the source of the influence, and you can resent it, and you can fight back maybe at some point. But if you can't see it, right. So in this study, we had enough people, because the study was so big, that we actually found a few hundred people who said, wait, these search results look biased to me. Guess what? Those people shifted even farther in the direction of the bias. And people who couldn't spot the bias.
What do you mean? So they actually, so if the bias was liberal, if it was like support the liberal candidate, then they actually were more likely to support the liberal candidate even though they saw the bias?
Yes, and that difference was statistically significant. So why would that be? Well, because people trust algorithms. They think algorithms give unbiased and impartial results because they don't know what algorithms are. They don't understand the role that humans are playing in the background. They don't understand about blacklists. And, there's a trust. Now, people also trust Google. Obviously, you and your colleagues trust Google because I happen to know you use a lot of Google platforms for your show. And so there's a trust there.
I mean, it's not that we trust them.
Oh, yes.
I don't trust them in a lot of ways because they own YouTube and they screw us over all the time. I also
but that guy said that there were 6 million fucking votes that got. I don't know, and that he had the proof of it. I don't understand how she can sit there and act like this guy is some kind of a source of information when he made a claim like that, and it's just so provably false. You crazy son of a bitch. What's up, Buck Biden 1234? How's it going, buddy? Make sure to hit the thumbs up button, guys. Where did you get that bubbler? I got it at the store right down the street from my house.
Sciences, and we introduced what we called SEME, S-E-M-E, the search engine manipulation effect, which we said was one of the largest behavioral effects, one of the largest sources of influence that had ever been discovered in the behavioral sciences in over 100 years.
This is 12 minutes in.
And that the search engine seems to be the most powerful mind control machine ever created.
Wow.
And we began to realize just how dangerous this was because you, for example, lean right. I lean left.
I'm on the left. I lean left.
Oh, okay.
I've always been
Both lean left.
Yes, yeah.
We'll pretend that you lean right. And so you put up a billboard for your candidate. I put up one for mine. You buy a TV commercial. I buy 2 TV commercials. The normal kinds of influence that people are subjected to are competitive, which is healthy. Even the dirty tricks are competitive. But if Google, which now controls 93% of search worldwide, if Google wants to support a particular candidate or party, there's no way to counteract what they're doing. In fact, generally, you can't even see.
Well, this I subscribe to, and this I completely believe in. This I understand how it works. I mean, I know. if Elon Musk wants to favor Ron DeSantis, if Mark Zuckerberg wants to favor Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, these motherfuckers do that shit, and we know they do. So I do believe this.
See what they're doing. So we have learned over a period of more than 11 years about a dozen different techniques like this.
This is why I listen to people I
techniques that
disagree
the
with,
internet
guys.
has made possible.
You know,
a lot of them are controlled exclusively by Google.
I can't stand Kim Iverson because she's a right winger in lefty clothing, and she's like Jimmy Dore. She can't fucking admit it. You know, she's a complete anti-vaxxer, and I understand a lot of you are too, but understand, she's an anti-vaxxer who claims that that she leans left. If you guys are anti-vaxxers and you lean right, well, you're being honest about your politics. You're being honest about your social values. It would be more of a right-wing ideology to be against vaccines. It's just, Republicans today, because of the nature of the party, just don't trust government as much as Democrats do. Democrats want the government to control every aspect of their lives. I understand that. I'm not an idiot. That's why you watch me.
Google, and if Google wants to use them, there's nothing you can do to counteract, and it costs them nothing. If they want to shift votes in an election,
I ordered a new mask from Amazon today.
Check this out.
They shifted.
Check this out. If the Republicans pass legislation in an overreaction to, let's say, mandates. So they pass laws that say, no, we're not going to let the government mandate us to do anything. And in that some way gives me more free speech on social media to do what I want to do. How am I not supposed to be supportive of that party that gives me a voice, that allows for me to speak openly, when that's really all I want? I just want to say how I feel, and if people want to listen, great. I think they should be given the opportunity to listen to me, so I find those people that are interested. And it shouldn't be subverted and controlled, and let the people decide what they want to see, Then, should I not be supportive of the party that allows that? It's something to think about. Because the Democrats definitely want to silence my speech. And most of the people that I've met lately that support Donald Trump have been more than willing to listen to me. Even some of them disagree with me on different points, and they're douchebags based on religion or whatever the fuck. But a lot of them are here still and more than willing to listen and have a good time with me. How many fucking Democrats are out there watching me? How many Biden supporters watch this show? Hey man, if you will vote for Joe Biden in 2024, if he is still alive and breathing, will you vote for him? Let me know in the chat. Give me a number 9 in the chat if you're going to vote, if you're planning on voting for Joe Biden in the 2024 general election. Give me a 9 in the chat. And my point is this. I don't think I'm going to get too many people that are going to vote.
Bonsai House.
Democrat.
I got diapers from Amazon.
Vote for Joe
I'm gonna
Biden.
just sit here now.
Meaning that most of my audience are probably people that would instead vote for Donald Trump. Those are the people that want to listen to me. How am I supposed to, what am I supposed to, what should my reaction be to that? When I've been shunned by the left and they're completely unsupportive of everything I do and say, because every once in a while I hit on a truth that they don't agree with. Flat earther bastard, says Buck Fiden.
More than 6 million votes to Joe Biden.
There it is.
We have
wow. Dude, I just paused right on the part I was looking for. Isn't that crazy? So this is 13...
Arafat Nakba. Yet Ozzy wrote a song about it. Number 9, No One Gets Out.
1347. Listen to this.
For example, in 2020, they shifted more than 6 million votes to Joe Biden.
They shifted. He's talking about Google. This is 12:45.
I put up one for mine. You buy TV commercial. I buy 2 TV commercials. The normal kinds of influence that people are subjected to are competitive, which is healthy.
13 minutes
Even
in.
the dirty tricks are competitive. But if Google, which now controls 93% of search worldwide, if Google wants to support a particular candidate or party, there's no way to counteract what they're doing.
I mean, this guy literally thinks that Americans are so dumb that they base their political vote based on Google searches. Like, I have a feeling that most people that are on the internet that are using Google for whatever reason, they've already made up their minds pretty much politically and socially about shit. And based on searches and ads and things that they see on TV, they're really not going to change their minds. How do you guys feel? Let me know in the chat. Answer what I just said to you. Do you feel like people are more influenced by what Google feeds them politically and socially, or that they make up their own minds and that they're just on there just seeing what the fuck the internet's got to offer them? Let me know in the chat. You know, we could go with, give me a 1 if you believe what I say when I say that people make up their own minds basically socially and politically, not based on the things they see on Google. And give me a 2 if you believe that people basically make up their minds politically and socially based on what Google is offering them up in the algorithm section of their YouTube channel, or on their search for, you know, a frickin' a replacement for our sprinkler head outside. People ain't changing their minds, period, anymore, says Buck Fiden 1234. Make sure to wear your flag lapel for the extra effect. Flat Earth. Not at all. People have their mind made up. Token Tony Z. That seems to be the consensus, right? So you guys would be giving me a number 1 in the chat if you agree with me. Number 2, if you believe this fucking bozo that Kim Iverson, the fake fucking
YouTube
lefty,
is very open to the world,
you know, Kim
people,
Iverson, the
and
fake
places.
leftist. I wonder what Willie Bragg would have to say about Kim Iverson calling herself fucking lefty. She leans left. Isn't that rich? That's like Ben Shapiro saying he leans left, or Steven Crowder, or Candace Owens, or why? Because you support Medicare for all? You think that's your crowning lefty fucking, you know, what is it? I wonder what how she where's her stance on abortion. I wonder where her stance is on immigration. I wonder where her stance is on the war in going on with Russia in the Ukraine. Why can't I move this, bastards? There we go. We're ready to go up to 250. Say 26,250, folks. We're going to do it. I'm
If Medicare is so eat, why do their prescriptions de-assistance? Cheers.
Because Medicare sucks. And, you know, I hate these part plan A, B, and C bullshit that they pull on you. They say, well, if you don't have part, you might have Medicare A, but if you want to get plans B and C, then you're going to need to go with another company for those plans. So wait, B and C, does that mean you got to pay for that shit?
Arafat Nakba. Amen, brother.
Part B and C, does that mean you got to pay for it? I could ask my mom. I think you do. Why would there be companies selling you shit on the if they weren't making money off of it? So I'm sure these additional plan, you know, B and C's, fucking Medicare or whatever, they're costing people money. It's bullshit. Crowder sucks balls, says Buckfied1234. There's a base of people that form opinions of social media. If the Google search agrees with what they believe already, then yes, it influences security. GSP girl. I mean, how many fucking morons do you think are out there, GSP girl, that let a goddamn You know, the selection of videos that come
Arafat
up on their
Nakba.
video feed
Pharma Madness.
come up on their
Nakba.
video feed
Pharma Madness.
allow them to determine how they feel politically. How many people do you think that is? You know, are you influenced by the selection of videos and the items that you see flashing before you on the internet? I mean, you'd be calling yourself a sucker. How dumb do you think people are? I mean, voting Americans, how dumb do you think voting Americans are?
Seamer Cannabis. How did I get blocked?
How did you get blocked from what? What got blocked?
And you type if you're blocked.
Yeah, if you're blocked, how can you type? Pays people that form options of social media. Crowder sucks balls. C and D. Medicare Advantage plan.
Seamer
Medicare
Cannabis.
Part is no cost.
My last
Part
comment
B, you
did
need
not
to
come
enroll.
through.
The companies play the commercials offering a Part B buy down. That is the giving you money back. Them giving you money back. I'm in the insurance game. It's all a racket. I absolutely am not influenced by that. But if someone
Seamer
finds
Cannabis.
what they want to find on
It was
Google,
on
they're
Brandon
willing-
in election.
Yes, says you, GSP girl. What are you? Are you a psychologist? Have you done a study on people and how they're influenced by Google?
Arafat Nakba.
What makes you an expert
You
in
hit
this
a
field?
magic
I'm just
word, bro,
kind of
cheers.
curious. That's a hell of a statement coming from someone who herself says is not influenced by the garbage she sees. So if you're not influenced by the garbage you see on the internet, why is everyone else? You think you're special? You think you're smarter than everybody else on the internet? I got news for you. You're not, and neither am I. There's a lot of people on the internet and people who vote who are way more intelligent than you and I could ever hope to be. We're pretty dumb. You know? We are. We're pretty dumb. You believe this
We
through...
should smoke. So
She
we can
believes
get a
this-
little dumber.
She believes this through conversations with people in person. Oh, well, you've interviewed so many people about what their political beliefs are based on what Google has fed them and how they're going to vote. Really? That seems so specialized that you've had that conversation with people.
Subliminally, we're all
It just seems
influenced.
so perfectly accurate to exactly what random thing we're talking about today, GSP girl, doesn't it? That's scarily accurate. Scarily. I want to hear about these conversations, and I want to know how many people you've had this exact conversation with, GSP girl. How have you been influenced politically and socially based on what you've been fed on the internet? Go. Tell me how many of those conversations you've had. Because I'll tell you right now how many times I've had that conversation. I've had that conversation with as many people as Cyber Reload has had that conversation with, as much as everyone else in my chat has had that conversation with people, and that would be zero. I guarantee it. No one's ever had this conversation about this with other people they know, ever. It's so random and specialized. It's like you hit all of the lotto numbers tonight. How is that possible? So tell me how many of those conversations you've been engaged in with how many people. Because you say, I believe this through conversations with people in person. How many of those in-person conversations? This is so interesting. Follow politics and just watch stupid shows all day. I have to pay for eye and dental outright. Dear Slayer. Yes, Medicare doesn't give you any additional, like, vision, dental, hearing. Buck Fiden, how old are you? You're in like your 30s or something? And daddy needs a new pair of damn glasses, says Dear Slayer. Some Medicare Advantage plans include some minimal procedures, Buck Fiden. If you're in Florida, it's a good deal. Good luck. God, you guys are so knowledgeable. This is crazy. We've stepped up the knowledge base of the audience here. So that's why I'm hoping for a really good response from GSP girl about how many times she's had this very conversation with other people in person. Remember, the conversation is, how much really have you been influenced by what you've seen on the internet, socially and politically? How much of an influence has that had on you? Has it changed your vote? And how many people have you had that conversation with? Have you not had a conversation with someone that believes something and you ask them why they believe it? They say they Googled it. No, that's not what I asked you at all. I Google information all the time. I don't let it tell me how to fucking vote or how to feel about people. Maybe that might have a different, be of a different, fly a different flag than me. Let's just say that. I wouldn't let it do that. I love all people. Why would I let a Google search fucking change how I feel about people? I'm not going to vote for Democrat or Republican. How would I let a Google search influence that? I'm just kind of wondering. So, I mean, I asked you specifically how many times you had a conversation with people asking them this very thing that we're talking about. So far, you haven't given me a single person that you've had the conversation with. I'm just saying. Your response to me when me asking you a very legitimate question, I'm being legitimate here. So I want to know how many people you've had this conversation with, because you said you basing it on the conversation. You're the one that offered it. So I'm just saying, I mean, you could probably start naming all the people that you've had this very conversation with. So your answer was, have you not had a conversation with someone that believes something and you ask them why they believe it and they say they Googled it? No, I don't even think I've had that conversation, but that seems kind of general and generic compared to what you claimed you've been talking to numerous people about, because you formed a whole opinion on how people are in general based on these conversations that you claimed you had. So I offer this. Maybe sometimes we're so convinced of our own narrative that we're willing to say things and claim that we've had conversations and whatever, not calling you a liar, but that we're just kind of bolstering our own narrative and not really thinking about, well, wait, have I really? I mean, this conversation we're having right now seems kind of familiar. Maybe that's because we're having it right now and I'm high. I don't know if you are. And maybe you're just having a little deja vu going on there. And it's not really that you've had this actual conversation with people and formed your own opinion based on how people vote and think socially because of what algorithms. This guy said 6 million people changed their votes based on what they saw on Google. Well, I thought your argument was that the votes were all fake, that they were they were hacked. So which is it? Which is the argument now? Because that goes against what My Pillow guy and the Kraken lady are saying, doesn't it? It goes against the whole narrative, doesn't it? Oh, I thought you won the election. He's claiming, no, those 6 million people did vote against Trump. And they were influenced by Google searches. It's psychotic, and you guys should see the gist of that. Just doing this, guys. You should all be doing this right now and going, you're right, that doesn't add up. It's weird. He's like got glasses on. He's got like a nice background. He's on the Kim Iverson show. He seems like he'd be a legitimate person. And I'm here to tell you, Kim Iverson is a fucking grifter. Okay, she lies to her audience. She just told everybody that she leans left. It's hilarious. It'd be like Tulsi Gabbard saying that. And someday Kim Iverson's going to come out as a Republican. There, I said it, September 2nd at the 7 p.m. mark on this show. You remember that. Kim Iverson magically comes out as a Republican all of a sudden. I'm switching parties. I'm voting for Trump. I'm a Republican now. Just like Tulsi Gabbard. Kim Iverson, she'll do the exact same thing. She's not leaning left on anything. 100% covered in jail by the taxpayers. It's 100% covered in jail by the taxpayers. That's what I'm saying. Get better coverage in jail. Right. I apologize. I'm speaking in general, not related to how it affects their vote. Oh, right on, GSP girl. That was easy. I spent a lot of time on that. I kind of feel like I spent way too much time. But thank you for saying that. It seemed a little hyperbolic to me, and like it was really suiting your narrative at that moment. So, thank you for that. I love you for saying that. That's really cool. And that's how we have conversations. And when one of us is saying something, the other person's like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And the other person's like, oh, yeah, you're right. Then we can move on to the next thing and keep talking. Wait a second. Did we go down? I'm scaled.
No, I've been alive. You're still alive on YouTube.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I was talking about crypto. It actually went up. We went up. So I'm telling you guys, 26,250. Still, that's the game. We're gonna do it, and I'm not lying about it. I will get a dab on deck. Get a dab on deck. It's the Jiffy peanut butter. Because choosy moms choose Jif dabs. Okay, I want to hear this guy say that again about the 6 million because it totally goes against your narrative, guys, that Trump won. This guy is totally refuting that Trump won based on, you know, the votes were there and everyone's just lying about the actual turnout of the votes.
Two are competitive.
13.
Which is healthy. Even the dirty tricks are competitive. But if Google, which now controls 93% of search worldwide, if Google wants to support a particular candidate or party, there's no way to counteract what they're doing. In fact, generally, you can't even see what they're doing.
1320.
So we have learned over a period of more than 11 years about a dozen different techniques like this, manipulation techniques that the internet has made possible. A lot of them are controlled exclusively by Google, and if Google wants to use them, there's nothing you can do to counteract, and it costs them nothing. If they want to shift votes in an election, for example, in 2020, they shifted more than 6 million votes to Joe Biden. We have incontrovertible data proving this. If they want to shift a lot of votes in an election, there's nothing you can do to stop them.
Where are the links to the incontrovertible evidence that Google shifted 6 million fucking votes? And I'm telling you, if that's true, then you guys, all that shit that Donald Trump and all you guys are claiming that support Donald Trump, that he really won the election, it's according to this man and Kim Iverson over there, the woman that leans left, that's all bullshit. According to him. You guys didn't win. Fucking, it was evil Google that converted, a whole bunch of solid fucking Trump supporting Republicans to vote against him all of a sudden. 6 million people. I don't know how much more I need to listen to this. Google's threatening our democracy because when I listen to people like this, I don't know what to believe in, what I can believe and what I can't believe. And I don't want to feed into someone that is a proven liar. He's a fucking liar. And he claims he's got incontrovertible evidence. He's not going to produce any of that. He's just like the MyPillow guy. And she's over there like Tucker Carlson or Hannity just sitting there fucking filleting him or Jimmy Dore with John Campbell or Robert Malone. It's the same fucking thing. It's their little liar. They've got a little fucking liar they'll say whatever the fuck fits their narrative and make them happy. So come on my show because you're going to fucking lie to my audience for me and I don't even have to do it. I can just sit here and act like it's all amazing information from a credible source. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I have to butane up. There it goes. 16 seconds. I heard my exhausting. Okay, heating now. I like that. Fire, 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 fire. Wow, I can, when it's full of butane like this, I can clean this really fast. God, I hope this is a quality piece of glass and not something that's going to melt off. Wow, I got crystal clear, man. Look at this thing. At that, with all that butane in there, man, it just powered right. That's the power of oxygen, everyone. Hi, everybody. Billy Mays here with OxyClean and the power of oxygen. It's literally the changes in latitudes that killed Jimmy Buffett. 3 people watching. Over on Rumble, 31 though. According to that, but
Arafat Nakba. Yeah, the Flex Seal family.
the entire Flex Seal family of products. So Pinoy Grower told me that 550 degrees is the correct temperature. Are you packed, Cyber?
Yeah, I'm packed.
Okay. And I've been smoking at 550 and it's been working really good. I've been very happy with it. I was trying 590 before and I liked 590 too. I got the really best taste at 590. 666, that's funny. Okay. No law regarding cannabis. Cheers, Cyber. Cheers, everybody.
Yeah, bro. Cheers, everybody.
Arafat Nakba. Cheers. Seamer Cannabis. Cheers.
Seymour, did you ever tell us how you got blocked or what the fuck that was about? Okay, Google. What year did Ruth Bader Ginsburg die?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg
Seamer
died
Cannabis.
on September 18th, 2020.
I think because it was about our election in Brandon.
Okay, Google. What year did Donald Trump become president of the United States?
According to Wikipedia, Trump was inaugurated on January 20th, 2017. He was sworn in by Chief Justice John Roberts.
So Donald Trump was the president when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. That's why she didn't resign. Because he would have replaced her anyway with a Republican.
Seamer Cannabis.
I get it.
Yes.
I think it was because about election in Brandon. You got, what did you get? Which one of your channels got blocked, bro? What are you talking about? Hey, everybody on Rumble, welcome to the show. How's it going? You guys want me to tell you what happened to Jimmy Buffett? He got skin cancer, and so the change in latitude was when he originally came from. Let's find out. Okay, Google. Where did Jimmy Buffett come from originally before he moved to the Keys?
According to PBS, James William Buffett was born on Christmas Day 1946
Alabama.
in Pascagoula, Mississippi, and raised in the port
Mississippi,
town of Mobile,
Alabama.
He
Right?
graduated from the University of Southern Mississippi in Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
So that changed his whole lifestyle. So he's in Mississippi, Alabama. He goes and he moves to the Keys in Florida, And he does a whole album called Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes. Or Changes in Attitudes, Changes in Latitudes. It's one or the other. And he starts living this lifestyle of being out on the beach. He's singing about it, you know, nibbling on sponge cake, watching the sun bake. Being outside, being out in the sun all the time, not wearing sunscreen, not wearing suntan lotion. What I said earlier was he should have written a song called Suntan Lotion. He could have had a funny song and he should have promoted that. Supposedly, I'm not 100% sure. I may have misheard this because it just seems crazy. But he may have not really gotten the proper medical care after he was diagnosed with skin cancer, or he may have avoided diagnosis as long as possible and may have ignored warnings. I'm not sure. But one thing is for sure. Most people, when they get skin cancer, most of the people I know, they can just have it removed and they survive. This turned into lymphoma and killed him. So it spread. And
Seamer cannabis. Keywords I believe are blocked automatically by YouTube on the top parties in Power Bro.
maybe.
What?
Oh, no, he makes sense. He's saying, like, if the Democrats are in power right now, they're going to prevent you from promoting Donald Trump or talking. You know. Yeah, he has a point there. I mean, it just depends on, you know, what Matt Taibbi was talking about. The United States government and politicians and corporations are tied into Twitter and YouTube and Facebook and able to silence accounts, you know. I'd love to be able to access the information that shows who the people are that get people silenced, you know, and what the extent of that silencing is, how damaging it is for channels. Oh, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see who did me. You know, I'd love to see who did me. It'd probably be me. It'd be a picture of me. You know, you did it to yourself, motherfucker. You know what you were doing there, kiddo. You fucked it all up. Hey, remember what I told you, 26,250, because that's where we're going, and I told you we were. There was a right side up head and shoulders, but it was immediately followed by an inverse head and shoulders, so we're fine. Those canceled each other out on the way up, still moving up, slowly, but moving up. It got up to 25,982, that's the highest, but it's going to go up to 26,250. I'm not letting go of that prediction. You will see it happen. It might happen on this show. God, I thought it was going to happen yesterday when we were live. I was all excited about it. And it didn't happen. It just kind of stopped. So, I can literally see it when it happened too. It got up nice and high. Got up to like, 25,930 and shit. I was like, ooh. But it hit
Seamer
a point
cannabis.
of resistance and
2,265, you say?
I say 26,250. 26,250. Go. Did he roid rage out? I don't know. Is Sham Wow guy still in jail?
Seamer cannabis. Got it.
26,250. He was a big time cokehead. You're gonna love my nuts. That guy's hilarious. Bonsai House says Buck Fiden. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dave Fishing, you still there? Climate change. We're not going to like this. This should be interesting.
It's getting hot outside. Nowadays, it's difficult to turn on the news without hearing someone talking about global warming. Headlines are filled with references to rising temperature levels, fossil fuels, and encroaching danger. And the discussion around the subject has gotten as heated as the weather. This has been a topic I've been wary about weighing in on, simply because of how sensitive a subject it has become in recent times. I've sat on this particular video for 3 years.
Wow.
Occasionally updating it, but not quite feeling it was the right time to release it.
Dude.
I didn't want to simply create more noise.
You should have warned people, bro, when you had
However,
time.
I do now
7:10, we missed 7:10 6 minutes ago.
Discussion. After all, there is plenty we hear about the current temperature of the planet. What is often not talked about is the patterns of temperature change that existed in the past that contextualize that modern temperature. Are we really the
Is that
hottest we've ever
Steve
been?
Mo's channel?
Scientists believe that in the last 100 years, the
Astrum,
global
it's called
temperature has been
ASTRUM.
Okay.
Yeah.
increasing. But how does this fit into wider patterns and
Should
trends?
we do a dab or we do
How
a
did they
bong
find
rip?
any of this
Bong
out?
rip it is, my friend.
I'm Alex McColgan, and you're watching Astrum. And today, we will be taking a closer look at the data recording the temperature history of our own planet. It's only by understanding the ancient past that we can contextualize the current discussion on global warming and answer, what exactly are scientists so worried about? So, to begin, how do we know what the temperature used to current global temperature today? All you need is a thermometer, and you can go outside and take a reading. With enough readings taken at different locations around the globe.
Oh, he understands
you can
global
find
average
an
temperature.
Average temperature for the whole planet.
Excellent. Yes, that's how it works.
Scientists have actually been
Chris
doing this
Mars
since
weather, you
1850,
idiot.
Meaning that our records on average global temperatures are fairly accurate since this date. However, mercury thermometers were only invented in 1714. So how do we know what the temperature was before
Ice.
global readings started being
Ice.
taken? How do we know the
Ice,
temperature 1,000
tubes.
years ago, or even 1,000,000 years ago, before humans were on the scene?
Is that what they're going to say?
Some of you may already know the answer, or at least a partial answer. Scientists can approximate global temperatures in the past through ice coring.
Coring.
Essentially, when snow falls, because it is powdery, it traps little bubbles of air where it lands. If this snow doesn't melt, but
Cyber
has more
unpacked.
snowfall on it later, such as in a very cold
Unpacked.
place. like
Cheers,
glacier,
Cyber.
you can
Cheers,
end up with layers of
Randy
snow
and
ice
Token
trapped
Tony
air
Z,
bubbles
Buck
going back
Fiden,
for many,
Deer
many
Slayer,
years. It creates something similar to the rings on a
Dave
tree.
Fishing. I think he's got
Yeah,
chick.
By
bro.
collecting ice from this way,
Fill the skull up with
take
smoke
sections
halfway.
to a lab and melt it, releasing the air relating to specific years. They then can measure the different ratios of gases released from the air bubbles, which tells them the atmospheric composition at that time. And because
So
we
cool.
can test how much heat
Some
is
Raiders of the
retained by
Lost
a
Ark
gas
shit.
when exposed to a
Nakba.
constant temperature like the
Cheers.
sun. For instance,
Restream.io.
CO2 retains more heat, while oxygen
Congratulations.
retains less.
You've received
With enough
100
samples,
messages today with
scientists can
Restream Chat.
calculate roughly what the global temperature was during that year. However,
Oh, Cyber.
the oldest
Dude. This troll came in this morning when I was live. He had a piece of software. He could, dude, listen to all he could do. He could put in as many random, brand new, photo verified accounts into my channel as he wanted to. He could make them all say the same thing. They could instantly swap in and out, in and out, in and out. Or he could make all of them say different things like real people would, and he was able to give me 160 thumbs ups, and he was able to make it look like there was only 6 people in my server, or make it look like there were 200 people in my on my YouTube channel. And those account numbers, They transferred over to my Restream Live and showed that I had 200 people watching on the Restream. You ever seen that kind of a bot?
No, I
Me
don't know.
neither, dude. And that's what people were saying. They were like, well, yeah, you know, that's how fucking bots do it. And I was like, dude, I know bots. I know it's bots and shit. But I didn't realize it was one person that could do it all from one piece of software. And that blew my mind, because then I realized fucking Aiden Ross and Andrew Tate and fucking all the people who are who are blowing QSC, and all the people that are blowing up on social media. I don't know how many of them are using that technology purposely, or they've just got a fan that's doing it for them and they don't realize it. Because this guy, he could have come into my chat very slowly and manipulated it, and I would have never known the fucking difference. But he was just completely blatant. He let me know it was a bot immediately.
Well, most of those streamers who use botters, they only use view botters. That's mostly how you can see their botting, because you might have 200,000 views or 20,000 views, but no one is literally talking in the chat.
Exactly.
That's how you literally can see their view botting.
Right.
So if they were smart, they should both view bot and then text bot or whatever you would call this.
Well, this...
Because, and also a website it's called Fextra Live, who is a website where you can look up guides and shit to video games. They just got busted here a week ago because on that website they had embedded their Twitch channel, but that embedding was so small so you literally didn't see it. So all those people who went to watch the fucking guides and shit, they counted as views on their Twitch channel, and they would consistently have fucking 50,000 people watching the stream, but no one was fucking chatting. That's how they got called out on it.
You guys that are...
And that just happened.
You guys that are watching on YouTube, please come over to fucking Rumble, guys. Please, and subscribe to my Rumble channel. I need the subscribers. I'm down to 902. Let's get that going, okay? So here's a link. Here's a direct link in the chat. Just click on it and come over and make an account. Do whatever you got to do. And please make sure you click follow and give me a thumbs up while you're there, too. It says I got 6 thumbs ups and 1 thumbs down. Huh. A thumbs down. Imagine that. I think I know who that was.
What an asshole.
I think that was Miss, you need to learn love from the Jesus from the Bible. Gave me a thumbs down.
That's how you learn love. Get that thumbs down and that hard love. The shaming and the hate. That's how you're gonna learn to love.
Arafat Nakba.
The
That sounds
shunning.
like a place I'm gonna have to fight. I'm not ready yet, bro.
No, Arafat, no. Come on. You're not going to have to fight, dumbass. It's a name. Come over. It's free speech. No one's going to persecute you for having your name.
Live, it was... Is ShamWow guy still in jail? Buckfin 1234. Didn't he Reuters out? Deerslayer of 1959. Ig. Buckfin 1234. He was a big-time cokehead, I think. Token Tony Z.
Token Tony
Cheers.
Z.
Deerslayer of 1959. Cheers. Deerslayer of 1959. True, she said that herself. Buckfin 1234. Bonsai House. Buckfin 1234. What do you think about Mitch Cannell stroking out again? Buckfin 1234.
They're so funny.
And Feestein malfunctioning? Token Tony Z. One word term limits. Buckfin 1234. Chairs. Token Tony Z.
Where the hell is my...
Cheers.